We have a pretty full agenda tonight. I'm wondering if we could save the discussion on the fuel and sand contracts to the next select board meeting. Those aren't really, is that okay? Okay, so we will deal with the mowing contract because we need to do that. That's a time issue. Okay, so any other adjustments to the agenda at all? All right. So let's see, any public comment? Okay, I don't hear any. So do I hear a motion to approve the bills to the town? A second? Okay. Any discussion at all about the bills? All right. All those in favor of approving the bills to the town, say aye.
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 Okay. All right. So the bills are approved. And then do I hear a motion to approve the minutes for the March 8th, 2021 Select Board meeting? Chris
I'll
is
second it.
okay. Any discussion at all about the minutes? Okay. So all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. So town clerk's report. Diana?
Well,
Okay.
went over the two issues with this special meeting, when one was the date and one was whether or not they're here at town hall.
Diana, your voice isn't coming across clear. I'm not sure why.
Let me mute mine.
The two mics are too close together there.
Yeah, so what we're getting is, yeah, okay, so try it again now that Brandy's shut off her mic.
Oh, okay.
That's better.
Okay, whether to do it on the 27th and have it in the newspaper this week, and whether to have it in the town hall or try to have it here. And we decided together that the 27th was a good date. We could push it if necessary, but can't have it any sooner. And that it would be better to do it in the town hall than to, try to do it here where things are more crowded.
Okay,
So if
and that's
that's okay with you guys, you've all signed the warning. Thank you very much.
okay, and that's April 27th, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yes, Robin.
Paul, you will have to move your training for that night.
Yes, we can do that. We just got to take some tables and chairs from the town hall. That's okay. We can do that.
Okay.
No problem.
We're closing it at 6 o'clock. So probably be out of there soon after 6.
We'll work it out.
Okay.
So would you like us to vote on that, Diana?
I'll make a motion that we approve the warning as printed.
Do I hear a second?
Just a second.
Second from Chris. Any more discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, anything else that the town clerks would like to share with us?
I have licensed 42 dogs so far this year.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be open on Saturday, the 27th from 9 until noon. And then I'm going to be open again April 1st in the evening, 6 until 8, which is the actual last day of licensing the dogs.
April 1st is the deadline? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
And I have updated the town highway bridges for the weight restrictions with the state.
Mhm.
And the overweight permits, those are coming on a steady basis.
Okay.
And I'd also like to put a thank you out to Greg Parkhurst. I called up and asked him if they could come down and put some sticks in the snowbank out here so we could put the sandwich board up for the dog licenses. And he sent Tim right down and they put them right in for me.
Great.
And I have also received my stamp, so I am now a notary public.
Mhm. Okay.
And that's what I have.
Okay. Do you have a different email for your role as town clerk, or should I keep on using the one that I'm familiar with? Is there a diff,
You can keep using that one.
using that one? Okay, that'll work. Okay.
I don't think we're gonna be able to really switch our desks until Skip gets back from his.
I-
And I'm not finished with cleaning everything out of here anyway, so.
Okay.
But she's getting an eviction notice.
Good for you.
Anything else under the town clerk report at all?
Nope, that's good for me.
Okay.
Cleaning.
Okay. So let's move on to the town treasurer's report.
Did I hear cleaning?
Oh,
What was that?
so Diana, you have to shut your mic off for Brandy to speak.
Okay, I'm trying to
Switch my,
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, okay, we're good.
All righty.
There's some kind of funny background noise going on.
I do so. I'm pretty sure I got mine muted. Is yours muted too? I don't know why it's squeaking though.
Brandy, try turning down your speakers. You're getting feedback.
Uh-huh. It's an interesting sound, but
Brandon, if you want, you can go and use my laptop.
Or if Diane is in the room too, she should turn her speakers down as well.
uh-oh. So you should turn your mic on now, Brandy. Okay.
There we go. So over the past 2 weeks, for direct deposits from the state, we received 2 grants. One is for the planning commission that Skip Lindsay had given me a head up that it was coming in. That was $2,998 even. And then we had a grant that was helping pay for town meeting day, which helped pay for the postcards.
the ballots and the tabulator.
Did you hear?
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm not.
And that was in the amount of $2,119.89. What else? Let's see.
Sorry,
So
Brandy,
Friday,
where was that, Brandy, where was that grant from? Where was that town meeting grant from?
Secretary of State's office.
Secretary of State's office? Is that what I heard? Okay,
yeah,
thank
it was
you.
the state of Vermont treasurer's office, but it was behalf of
Thank you.
the secretary. So on Friday is my VLCT passive audit. And we'll be doing it by Zoom this year. So I've been busy scanning documentation. We'll see how that goes. Other things, I increased our loader insurance due to the attachment.
Mhm.
What else? for cash receipts, as Robin was saying, lots of fleet permits coming in. Records restoration income, copies, dog licenses, land recording copies, a land posting, prepaid taxes, which is great, vault fees, vehicle registration, and zoning permits, totaling the amount of $4,305 even. Other goodies, just regular AP and payroll. So yeah, any questions?
Brandy, do you remember how much the grant reimbursement that the town received for the Town Forest Trail?
11,000 and hold on.
Well, okay. You could just send it to me. I couldn't remember for the Conservation Commission, so you could send it to me tomorrow. If you
So it was
wanted to.
$11,866.93. Was everybody able to get the financial statements that I sent by email?
Yes.
So on the due to, due from, your balance that is left, because you were at a deficit for the conservation.
I don't, that's funny. When I looked at it, it seemed like we had like $6,500 in there.
I'll be so glad when we can go back to live meetings.
Yeah.
All right, so the conservation is right now at $6,512.27 after the remaining, the expenses were covered.
Yeah. So we're in the black again. That's good.
Yes. Other things like on the on the balance sheet, where are we at for? That's my cash receipts. Piles and piles. Here we go. So prepaid taxes right now we're at $4,522.24. I should be getting a new total for the education tax being our final. I should be getting that one probably in April, toward the end of April, where it'll eat most of that 60,000 that's on the balance sheet in the liabilities. So yeah, I've added Robin for benefits. So yeah, any questions?
No. I'm having some connection issues, which seems to be something that happens in the beginning of these different meetings. So I may disappear at some point, but hopefully I'll be right back. I had one question. The Center for Technology, we got a $5,000 grant. Was that for the tabulator and other election day stuff?
That was for the COVID. Diana's gonna.
Yeah, that was for the original, like the general election, COVID related things like the plexiglass that we bought, the computer that we bought. What else? We bought we bought the sneeze guards. We bought a cabinet for downstairs. We paid for the tabulator for the general election. I think we paid, no, the state did the mailing for the ballots for the general election, but then we had $1,000 left, and then we we got an extension on that, and we used some of that to pay for the postcard mailing that we did prior to town meeting. So we've got a few dollars left. So that was CTCL. Are they hearing this? Hello?
Yep, we've got you, Diane.
Oh,
I think we just lost Michael for a minute, that's all.
All right, Michael disappeared. He said he would. He's probably stoking the wood up in his internet. So with that, take care of the, till Michael gets back, does that take care of the, what Brandy wanted to share with us? Uh-oh, am I frozen?
Is that a yes?
That's a yes. So we got to deal with the mowing contract. Is that the next thing?
Yes, please.
What's up with the mowing contract?
Well, we go out to bid every year, right? Is that right on that?
We're not talking roadsides?
No.
We're talking.
No, the cemeteries, the town square and whatnot.
So I want you to consider possibly a 3-year if we try and go. Yeah, just playing it open to the select board, either a year or a 3-year. We do have a 3-year taker that just to put the word out there.
I'm okay with that. What do you think, Chris?
I don't see any reason not to do an extended contract if it's someone that we already feel good about. I
Yeah.
mean, that gives us a lot of advantages in a way. They guarantee it. We don't
They've
worry
on
about it,
advertising.
And we got some surety and we don't have to do this every single year.
which I think is really a smart move. Brandy, do we have knowledge of the contractor?
Yes.
Then I feel like if we have enough confidence, I'd say a 3-year contract makes a lot of sense.
He does, he doesn't have workers' comp coverage. He does sign the non-employee agreement. So yeah,
And our current provider, so they've done a good job.
are you with Sue?
that's up to the board.
Really?
I didn't hear what she said.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that.
I asked if you were still going out for bid.
Oh, obviously, yeah. We have to.
We have to, right? We don't have a choice.
Yes.
On that. It has to go out for bid.
Yeah, we'll go out to bid.
So was everybody able to review the mowing contract? All I had did was tweak the dates a little bit.
Yeah, it looks okay to me. It's what we did last year and the year before.
And I added the new location of the park or the new park. So yeah, other than if the board wants to decide to make it a 3-year contract and send it out for advertising like that. And where you want it to be advertised.
Has Michael appeared again?
No,
Not yet.
I see someone coming on the phone.
Yeah. Brandy, I guess I'll ask, and
Yep.
Paul, you should probably weigh in on this, the best of your knowledge. Where do we typically advertise it? How broadly do we go?
so the Hardwick Gazette, the World, and possibly the Times Argus.
That would be fine. I think that's adequate.
You
I
think
agree.
Times Argus? I mean, that's awfully expensive.
Times Argus is awfully expensive. Is that?
News and Citizen goes to everybody in the Hardwick area. That might be another.
Uh-oh. What's expensive?
Could we continue? Could we consider something like the Caledonia Gazette as opposed to Times Argus or something like that? That's a little bit more equitable.
Well, Caledonian doesn't come down here that much. Well, I mean, they sell it in Hardwick. But,
Yeah, they do. Sell it in Hardwick.
How much money are we talking for the Times Argus?
oh, I don't know, probably $75,
And what's the Gazette?
probably 40.
Probably not that much different.
Yeah, I think we should just do the 3 we suggested.
I think you should too, just so that everybody around Barry Montpelier have a chance to bid on it.
Agreed.
I agree.
Yep.
if it's a difference, of, $50, I don't see the point. So.
Yeah, go ahead, Skip.
Oh, I think Skip's got something.
I can post it also on our webpage under the events calendar.
Yeah.
And also I can
Front
put it
Porch
on
Forum.
Front Porch Forum as well.
Yeah. So I think you're in agreement, Chris. I think that's doable. I think that's what we should do.
I agree.
And
Just
are
let
you
me
in
know if you
agreement
want-
of
Let
the
me know if you want
3-year?
me to do that.
You in agreement on the 3-year term?
I definitely agree with the 3-year term.
Yeah, okay.
So if we can amend that, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's getting treed, Paul.
Yeah, we got it, treat. So do I need a motion for that? That's something to be voted on, Skip? Yeah. So I guess one of us make the motion and we'll agree
Motion to approve.
with the 3-year and the advertising.
We have to make a motion to amend the contract for mowing to a 3-year term to be put out to contract, to put out to bid.
And I'll second that. Is there a discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Could the person on the phone with the phone number 983 please identify themselves?
That is Michael's number.
It is Michael, okay. Are you there, Mike?
I've been trying to, yeah.
Ah,
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Okay, I thought you could hear me, but obviously you couldn't.
So you heard what we did then?
Yeah, you just approved an amendment for the 3-year contract for the mowing. And I heard you discussing, where to post it on as far as newspapers and stuff.
And are you in concurrence with all those things?
Yeah.
Perfect, okay.
Yeah, I would vote aye also. And it sounds like we have the former contractor from last year interested, and is there a second contractor that's also?
Yeah, so let them go. So I will make a motion that we approve sending out the amended the amended RFP.
And Chris will second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 So I think I'm good if there's no other further questions.
And we were going to table those other 2 items till the next meeting. Okay.
Yeah, and then I've got a couple other things, Brandy, that I wanted to just check in with you about. I missed you last Tuesday, so I just wanted to let you know what's going on here. So with the personnel policy, I have sent it in to Jill Muir at VLCT Passive, and she's reviewing it. And then there were a couple of parts of the personnel policy that I wanted to discuss with you, and I thought just briefly do it tonight so that you're aware of it. We have changed the way that pay rate scale is used. Paul kind of clarified for us that that's more for starting a base rate pay for a new employee, and it's also more of a merit increase chart. And we have decided to use it that way. There is, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the changes in the personnel policy, but in those 2 amendments, the one that covers that pay rate chart, there's some new language there. And what we're wondering, and it's good that Skip is here too, is there a way that we could have a spreadsheet that would automatically change all of the figures in that chart when for fiscal year 22, the select board has voted to follow the cost of living adjustment of 1.5%. So that'll basically be the pay increase for everyone this year. So we're wondering if, each year when there is a cost of living increase, could we just somehow type that in and have everything, all of those figures change automatically, or does somebody have to go?
Yeah, because what it would do is, if we give a 1.5, it would just, if you're pay grade 5, step 3, you'd still be pay grade 5, step 3. It's just up 1.5%. Because there may be years where people get a COLA, but they don't get a step increase. That way the chart would keep up with the COLAs. But it's outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mine too.
Skip's raising his hand, so he's going to be victimized.
Just tell me what you want to do. And I can certainly plug in the formula that all you'd have to do is put in the cost of living COLA adjustment, and it would populate.
Oh, Skip froze now. You got to go stoke up his internet. Oh, it seems like we're having a pandemic with computer troubles around here.
I think I'm going to be able to be back on here in a second. We'll see. Okay, here I am.
Okay,
Now
we'll see how
We got
long.
you back, but we've lost Skip.
Have we lost Skip?
But it
Maybe
seems
I
like
booted
between
him off when I
and,
got on.
Skip and Brandy, they ought to be able to get that resolved.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then the other thing, Brandy, is I just wanted to you to review the insurance, that sort of amendment at the end. It's kind of a synopsis of all the insurance scenarios. And just update it. I know we have MVP now, but I wasn't sure whether it was platinum or gold or whatever it was. And then, I think we'll be pretty much set once we get the review back from Jill Muir. We can finalize the changes and then hopefully, probably we should have it legally reviewed too. And I think the LCT passive would do that for us for a small fee. I'll find that out, but it seems like they did that last time. And that's pretty much it. I think as far as things that I wanted to include under the town treasurer's report. So just for my clarification, because I was kind of trying to get myself back into the meeting. So we're going to put out an RFP for the mowing contract.
Yes, a 3-year.
3-year contract. Okay, great.
Put it for a 3-year, and then we're going to advertise in the Gazette, the Times Argus, and
Yep.
the,
I did hear all that. So,
okay, Caledonia Record, I guess.
Yep.
And then Skip's going to put it on the page and the front porch forum.
okay. And then we should try to get the cemetery commission involved in this too in the future.
I agree.
I sent an email to Patty, but I meant to do it this morning and did it when I got home this afternoon, which was way too late to. Okay. So we've lost Skip and he was going to talk about some Woodbury Planning Commission things. So why don't we move on to the town highway report until Skip is able to rejoin us.
Yep.
Okay. I talked to Greg this morning. The roads are drying out well.
They are, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, actually.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of mud. We also tried to talk, I talked to Milton Cat today. They are just getting ready to start on the grader now.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of under the assumption, I talked to Greg about it today, that we may need to try to rent a grader.
Now, I remember that Callis had offered a grader and I thought I saw a grader go by my house last
You may
week.
Today, you may have today.
Okay,
We're trying to coordinate it, but like,
they probably want it. Yeah,
yeah, they want to run both graders to get their roads up to date first thing this spring.
uh-huh,
And I would like to see some grading done before they get so hard that you can't grade them.
right.
Well, I'm all in favor. If you need it, we need it.
Yeah, yep, me too.
Well,
Completely
we're gonna look around and see what the price is gonna be.
Mhm.
We're kind of hoping maybe we can throw a white lie or two their way and make them think maybe we're gonna buy a grader.
Well, don't do that. I mean, have a test run for a couple
Kicking the
weeks.
tires, there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Yeah, right.
You just don't talk about it. So let's move on to a different subject.
All
Well,
right.
I didn't hear that.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're gonna get some prices on one tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Any
Um,
idea of how long the grader's gonna be up on blocks that we
Well,
own?
they told us they'd get right on it when we sent it down there, and it's
Yeah.
been almost 2 weeks now.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm not sure getting right on it. I'm not sure what that means anymore, I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little surprising.
Yeah, yeah, I thought they would have a pretty good update for me today when I talked to them, and
Mhm.
was really disappointed.
Chuck, do we know anything about, I mean, I know that when you mentioned it before, that they thought maybe it was a water pump, not a head gasket. Do we know anything about?
We don't.
Nothing.
We don't know any more about it. We did
Touched
when we
it.
sent it down there.
Okay, they really
Yeah, I'm
haven't looked at
sorry.
it.
I
Yeah.
tried
Doesn't
following
sound like it.
on it Friday and today because I wanted to have something to say.
Yeah.
So it looked like everybody was dragging their feet, but Milton Keynes is dragging their feet. We had to move on Monday and they moved the grader on Tuesday. So, you know, they said they'd get right on it, and here we are.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure what we'll find, but we're gonna look around and see.
Okay.
And if it works out, Greg was gonna go talk to Alfie this afternoon, so maybe it worked out better than I
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
You know, if you saw a grader go by, it very well could be sitting in our shop.
Well, that was actually last week I saw it go by.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't today. I wasn't home today.
okay. Yeah,
at all.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Okay.
so that is that. And like I say, the roads are drying up well. The new mower, as you know, was here for the loader,
Mhm.
and it's all hooked up and been in operation. I don't think they've done any roadside mowing, but it's been all mounted on there, and all the pressure's been checked and everything, so it's ready to go.
Everything works? Great.
Everything works great.
Yeah.
Yep. And I've had a call from a lady on Punkhorn Road.
Punkhorn
And
Road.
up beyond the Keene Farm Road, on the end of
Oh,
Keene Farm Road where it turns
Yeah.
to class 4.
You just keep going, yeah.
Yeah, well, seems that the people, Patrick at the Keene Farm Road, and they have been arguing about speed going by his
Speed?
house.
really?
Yeah, well, I guess she's got a Toyota Prius or something, and she's flying right out through there.
Oh,
So I talked to him, and after what we talked to with Rick Barron, and we put the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit signs up. I told him
Okay.
that I would talk to you and see if we could do basically the same thing there.
I don't see why not.
I'm fine with that.
I agree.
I mean,
Okay, well, that's good, because we ordered the signs today.
okay, well,
Perfect.
how that would ever get enforced, I guess if there was a continuing problem, we'd ask the sheriff to go sit
Yeah.
out there or
But
something.
we did something.
Well,
Yeah,
I
we
guess
did something, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
the other thing that I threatened him with, and I'm not sure we could do it anyway, but it sounded good when I said it, that we'd put a speed bump in there.
Water bar, it's a water bar.
Right,
Yeah, speed
But-
bump is tricky though for grading and plowing and stuff,
The
isn't it?
water bars are needed.
yeah,
Isn't
but
that right where it
Going-
turns to class 4?
going in,
Right.
and the separation between 3 and 4, you could put a water barrier in and get away with it.
Right, you could, yeah.
Mhm.
So
And-
Punkhorn
but I
Road,
told him
that's,
I told him that would be a last resort.
okay. Punkhorn Road, that's their private drive, isn't it? That's not a town road.
That's right, but there's 200 feet of class
Right.
4 road between Punkhorn Road and the Keene
Yeah.
Farm.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, so we could put a water bar in there
Okay, and we,
if we had
to
to.
begin with, we've got the signs ordered. I told them we'd try to get them up by the end of this week,
Okay,
the speed limit signs. And we've done the
Right.
same thing that we did up to Rick Barron's where it says, Oh, something about the homeowner.
Yeah, that was when we were working on that road. I remember that.
Yeah,
Do you know the name of the person who has the little Prius that's driving by?
I do.
don't,
You
I,
do? Okay. Could you,
I've had several conversations with her. Her name is Meryl Freitz, and she married
Yeah, yeah,
Robert
that's it.
Daniels, who she says she only goes 20 by there, so.
yeah.
I think
Um,
that's,
Do you have any contact information for, I would just, what I'm thinking is that I would just call them and let them know that there's been a complaint and that we will be putting up a sign, and if they could.
oh, I've already taken care of that.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you, Chuck. All right.
Yeah. And her husband, I don't remember his name either. I don't have that written down right here, but he called me back and he was in full agreement with the speed limit signs. And if necessary, a speed bump or water bar or whatever we decide to put in there. So, well, that's all I'll say about it, I guess.
Okay, a Prius is pretty low to the ground, or you'd want to make probably a shallow water bar. if you could.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
It's like there's getting to be quite a few buildings out there. I'm just looking on the map here.
You
Yeah,
know,
there's 3 or 4 out in there.
you go out on those roads. I was snowshoeing up there, or actually I didn't even need my snowshoes. It was early in the winter, and there are a number of abandoned buildings with a lot of really expensive equipment in them, all over the place up those roads past
yeah.
there. It's pretty amazing. I think there's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We usually get to try to find out if we can get up there. They call for an emergency and then I got to try to get there. Not
Right.
knowing the mansion out there.
Right.
Had a couple of those in the last year.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it for that.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
I just wanted to go over the meeting that we had with Shauna Clifford and Logan
Yeah.
Perrin.
Yeah.
You know, basically just kind of going over what what they had sent us. You know, we went through our town highway budget and created a financial plan, which from that plan, we get a pretty significant chunk of money for our class 2 and class 3 roads, and actually our class 4 roads too. And then the two grants that we talked about, the 2 projects, the Cabot Road, the resurfacing of it.
Yes.
What we'll need is basically an estimate of materials, man hours, equipment hours, culverts, so that we'll need to have a figure to submit. And I think the limit is $20,000. I'll relook at that grant.
What I'd like to do, just to get the ball rolling, is I'd like to start about where Pickett Corner is at the end of Brandy's Road.
Yeah.
And come back towards Woodbury.
Mm-hmm.
That flat between Pickett Corner and Danny Durkee's house is terrible.
Okay.
Around where that new road is definitely, or where the new quarry road is gonna be, there's definitely not gravel enough in there to ever support trucks.
Yep.
So, that's where I'd like to start from. And then from the quarry road, the existing quarry road now down to Wayne Prescott's. We're gonna do a fair extensive amount of ditching in there. And we've got at least 2 culverts in there to replace.
Okay.
But I'll get with Greg and we'll talk about it and get it figured out.
Okay, yeah, that'll be, I think we have till April 15th, if I remember right, to submit those. So, you know, we've got a few weeks. And then what I thought I would do for the design work for the culvert in the bottom of Valley Lake Road is just sent an email to Nate. Logan pretty much listed the things that they would need for that would be included in that, and get an estimate from him, Ruggles Engineering, for what the total cost of that would be. And that'll be the figure that we'll use. Technically, we should put that out to bid. However, we can discuss this further later, but you know, Ruggles and Nate in particular, having done the surveying and the design work for the Better Roads project, pretty much is already up to speed with what needs to happen there. Would
Plus
probably,
it's all in CAD already.
yeah, yeah,
You go out to bid, someone's gonna have to redo all that.
yeah, that's the
And
thing.
this again is just an estimate for the grant. If we turn around, and have to go out to bid, we could still do that.
Right, and we can discuss whether or not we would do that. I remember for the emergency grant that we got at the bottom of Cabot Road with the washout from a couple summers ago, we didn't need to put that out to bid, but that was because it was an emergency grant. But I can check in with Shauna on that and see what,
Well, it went out to bid to begin with, right?
yeah, I guess it did. You're right.
Yeah, so I would think it would be just a follow-up, but
Right, yeah,
I'm not sure.
well, I'll figure that one out.
But again, I think his estimate would be adequate to go for the grant.
So, and then we'll need to be, as a select board, approving the annual certificate of compliance. We have until June 10th for that. And that's basically just saying that we agree to the codes and standards that we have set for the town of Woodbury. I think I forwarded those codes and standards to everybody. Not sure if, did you guys remember receiving that?
Not recently. I might have a couple of years ago.
Okay, well, then I probably didn't.
Have you seen that? No.
Okay, all right, I'll send that out to everybody. Logan sent those to us. So I think that's pretty much it from that meeting that we had.
Was there anything gonna happen with Winston Moore's Hill?
What we're going to do is have a site visit. Shauna
Yeah.
and Logan and maybe an engineer from V-Trans will come out. We could invite Ruggles too, but they would, I'm thinking that folks from V-Trans would come and kind of just walk that site with us, hear what we're thinking of doing, and they could suggest, they'll definitely have some suggestions. And then we should, you know, probably think about hiring somebody to put together a design, you know.
So I think, you know, maybe during that time is we could actually have them help us stake out and lay out where we'd like to be. Because again, as part of our laying out process, we'd have to hire a surveyor.
Yeah.
That would get us a step ahead in that process.
Yeah, it would. And I think there's a pretty good chance that the state will do something because of that little brook comes along down side that road right there.
Yeah, I'll check into that, whether we can, you know, it could be part of a municipal roads general permit grant, I suppose.
Okay.
Because this is a great time with all them, if the landowner's right there to work on getting that laid out.
Yeah, you got that right. That's what, that's sort of where I'm looking for, is not to drop
Bring the
them off.
stakes with us and say, that's what we'd like, then bring the surveyor right in behind and say, get the survey done, and then we can go to a public hearing on it.
Yep.
There you go.
We'd have to go through the laying out
Yep,
process.
which will take a year or so.
Right, right. Yeah, this ain't something that's going.
No, we lost Chuck's voice.
Chuck, we can't hear you. Can't hear you, Chuck. I heard a little beep, like, I don't know if there was a button that got hit or something, but
His mic's still on.
okay,
A lot of gremlins in the internet tonight.
I know it.
Before,
Okay, now we can hear you.
before we leave the road budget, or I mean, the road topic, Paul Council has called me and
Mhm.
is interested in doing the parking lot for the town trail up by the town forest.
Mhm.
And last year I brought it, he and I talked and I brought it up at a select board meeting. And you guys seem to be in favor of donating the time with the excavator and the dump truck.
Mhm.
We did.
Yes.
Agree to that, yes. And the other part of the,
Are you still in agreement?
Yes.
I am.
Okay.
Chris
Would be-
isn't aware of this.
I'm aware of it from reading past records, so I
Okay,
would be in
all right,
favor of it also.
okay. All right.
So you're good.
So,
good.
and then, and the Conservation Commission we're gonna do a little fundraising, for the materials part. We're of the understanding that that the materials, probably will come to around $4,000. So we're gonna do a little bit of fundraising, for that, and then, the remainder of what we need to come up with, we've talked to, people on the Woodbury Fund, and there's an application, I think it's sometime in April, that will apply for whatever else of financing that we need for the parking area.
Okay, well, good. Paul wanted me to kind of put together an estimate of what it would cost for materials and stuff.
Right, that would be for the grant to the Woodbury Fund, yes.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and he said something about asking for 5,000. I don't know anything about that. But
Okay,
I've got the materials figured up for a 45-foot long and a 35-foot wide parking area with a culvert along the town road. And the materials are coming up $3,914.
okay, all right. Yeah, I think where the Conservation Commission is pretty much thinking of trying to raise a total of $5,000 just in case there's, anything extra that needs for materials that's needed when the work, when we're into the work, so.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, I told him I'd check with you tonight, make sure you're still on that,
Yeah,
on the
we're
same
still-
page. And,
Sounds like we are, yeah,
all right, sounds good.
okay,
And I guess that's all I have today.
okay. So I don't see Skip Lindsay here yet.
Did anyone get to look into the crushed granite up there anymore?
All right,
Actually, I did, and
Did.
I've been back and forth a little bit with Kevin Swenson, and he's putting together numbers for.
Yeah, because they were giving us, I think Chuck thought 10,000 and someone in town thought it might be a good idea if we paid to get some more done, if everybody was agreeable to do that, but we just need a price on the crushing and material mostly.
Right. So Chuck and I chatted briefly about it and came up with some numbers. We thought that if we could get 15 of, Chuck, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but this is what I have written down. If we had 15 of 3/4 minus, that would be good. And we were looking
Yeah,
for about,
15,000 yards.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if we had about 5 of 3-inch, that would be
Yes.
good. 5,000 of 3-inch, that'd be good too.
Yep,
So we're working on, okay.
Yep. So, yep. I just waiting on some numbers, but
All right.
hopefully soon I'll have some costs for us.
All right, thank you.
Seems like it's going to be fairly equitable. They're
Yeah, it should be, because I don't think you're going to get it any cheaper.
no, they're pretty happy to work with us. It sounds like so.
yeah, well, just the savings you're gonna have in trucking is gonna be.
Right.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. I think that we'd all agreed on this, and Chuck and I talked about it too. Was that this would work really well as long as we can store it up there, and that's part of what our conversation was about. So that we
Yeah.
have access to it, but we don't have to truck it anywhere. It's just going to stay up at the top of the core yard. So.
okay. Anything else for the town highway report?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I did want to mention, I got a notice for another form that for the municipal roads general permit. Apparently every year we're supposed to submit a report on what's been done. And it's been kind of a puzzlement for me on how to submit that report. So I have kind of a tentative date to meet with this fellow named Jim Ryan, who oversees the program, to help me better understand the inventory and how to read that. And then how to submit work that's been done on town roads onto this kind of a website sort of map, which I'm kind of clueless on. I was going to get trained to do this last spring, just as everything shut down with the pandemic. So nothing has happened. So I have that in the works to, and what we'll need to do going into the next summer is just kind of keep a clear record of any work that any roads that we're going to work on. So if there are roads that you and the road crew are thinking of working on, Chuck, as far as removing berms or, doing any kind of work like that, I can check to see which segments are hydrologically connected. And then, based on the work that's done, then report on this forum that the work was done, so we can check it off our inventory list. The goal is to have everything that's listed on the inventory done in about 30 years time, and maybe it's 25 years at this point, but and I'm sure it won't be a problem. We'll get there, but so, and there is still the possibility of doing a grants and aid application grant for some segments of hydrologically connected road, if there's a section of road, and maybe what we're thinking of doing up on Valley Lake Road on the west side going downhill there, maybe that might qualify, but we'd have to get the work done I think by fall or sometime next spring. So there might be another section of road, but and so far they haven't sent out the applications for that. So I don't know when those will come out, but it could be something that we decide later, or if there's different sections of road that you want to work on, that would qualify.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so we'll just kind of keep that in mind, and then we'll have to figure out a way to keep a record of what roads get worked on and what's done on them for next summer. We can kind of probably fudge, the report I have to do is for last year. And I think between your collective memory and Greg's, we can come up with some bits of road and maybe I know Greg keeps a little journal too, so hopefully
Yeah.
I'll have and if nothing else, I'll just say that we don't have anything to report and send in the form, so that they're happy that they got the form from us.
Right.
We also have to send them $240 with the form, so
Oh, yeah.
so
What's that, a reader's fee?
it's they call it a processing fee.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Yeah, so anyway,
Michael, I'm just gonna jump in for 1 second. I remember
Sure.
from the meeting that we had with Shauna, that she said that maybe that grants and aid application was gonna be delayed even until June possibly.
yeah,
So, we've got time potentially on
we
that.
do. Yeah, we do have time.
And they're extending the sort of work deadlines in addition to that, right? Because it's so far delayed.
Yeah. What they-
everything's still backed up. So it looks like, I'm just looking back at my notes, but it looked like we
Yeah.
might have some time to
We
potentially.
do have some time, and usually when it's that late, it'll go into the next, in the spring, summer, so we probably would have until the end of the fiscal year, like June 30th in 2022, I guess it'll be by then. Yeah, so we have time to do the work too. That's what we did on Foster Hill here. We didn't quite finish it up in the fall, finished it in the spring, and then I submitted the report sometime in May or June. So we should be good. And I do know how to check out, if there is a piece of road that you want to work on, I do know how to check out the A&R Atlas to see if the segments of road are hydrologically connected.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that part I do know how to use.
Yep.
And Michael, I can back you up on that. So.
Okay, great, good.
Good.
We got an in now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
so we could have all kinds of grant money flying at the roads here this summer and next.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, saves the town some money.
It does.
Yeah.
Get the roads back where they need to be too.
Right, right. And I'm hoping to learn how to read that inventory. So when you're working on roads, I can tell you, well, according to the inventory, we need to do, usually a lot of it's berms, some of it's the slope, different stuff like that.
Right,
But I would know what they want done also, which
right.
is probably the same. It's all for the same reasons, pretty much.
And Michael, who is Jim Ryan with? Is Jim Ryan with V-Trans? Who's Jim Ryan with?
He is part of A&R. There is something going on between A&R and V-Trans in the transference of overseeing the municipal roads general permit. Doesn't sound like it's happened quite yet, but Jim, I can't give you his official title, but he's looked at our roads several times, and he's basically heads the municipal roads general permit, and he was part of the Agency of Natural Resources. He may have a foot in a couple of different agencies at this point. I haven't heard back from him yet. I sent him an email, and Logan and Shauna sent him, kind of CC'd him on the email about my questions. I haven't heard back from him yet. So,
Okay, thanks.
anything else for the town highway report? Okay. Woodbury elected and appointed officials. I've got some results. I've been contacting different people, and we do have a pretty good list of people that we can appoint tonight. And what I'd like to do is just go over the elected officials. We're pretty well set with the elected officials, with the exception of the auditors.
It looks like we had a lot of auditors.
We don't have any.
Recently, we had a lot of auditor issues.
Yeah. And there is one person interested. He did contact Skip, and he's done quite a bit of research on what his responsibilities would be. But he was kind of sharing that with me. Apparently, you can't have just one auditor.
Right.
You need like a board of at least 3. So even if that person was appointed, we'd still need to come up with a couple of other people. So we'll put out a thing on the web and Front Porch Forum, with a list of the different vacancies. But that's the most glaring one right at the moment. And this one person, he's away pretty much the time that the auditors really need to be working. So he's a little concerned if he can live up to his commitments. That's still he's still kind of on the fence about that. And then the other elected official that we would need to appoint is that one of the library trustees, Michelle Duford, that was elected, her name was on the ballot, and then there was an opportunity for her to become the assistant librarian, which she wanted to do. So, and of course, she can't be a trustee and be a librarian at the same time. So she, even before she was elected, I think, kind of resigned from her elected position. And she's now the assistant librarian. Elizabeth Hansen did send me the name of a person who is willing to be appointed, and the select board, of course, can do that for positions where there is a opening for an elected official. And Michelle had a 3-year term, and I'm not sure, and this is something we could check with VLCT, but I'm not sure if we would only appoint this person. Her name is Laura Massal. I'm not sure
So,
if I pronounced it.
Michael, we looked this up before. When there's a vacancy and it's appointed, they have to be elected at the next election cycle, which would be next March.
Okay, so we would elect her to finish out this 1 year.
Right, you'd just be finishing this year, and then we would elect her in terms of it's 2 years left on the 3-year term.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Okay,
I just explained that she was willing to run for election, and Elizabeth found out that you can have a person who's not a resident be on the library board, but that person cannot run for office on the ballot.
right.
She can still be on there for, maybe by next town meeting, she'll be a resident, so then
Yeah.
she.
Right.
Yeah. So we would
And
just, they just,
that's Laura, not Michelle, that Diana's talking.
so I'm in favor of putting her on the library board if that's what she wants to do.
All right, so we could appoint her right now, or we could do like a group appointment thing. Although this is an elected official, so maybe we should do
Yeah.
this one
I'll
separate.
move that we appoint her to fill the position on the library trustees, Laura.
Laura Massell, okay. Do I hear a second?
Crystal second.
Okay, any further discussion? Oh, I hear the dog has a
My
question.
dog's at the window barking, or my son's dog. He's outside even.
Okay, so all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so Laura Massell, I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right, has been appointed until the next town meeting day to serve as a library trustee. Okay, and then we're good with all of the other elected positions. So let me run down a list of appointed officials. In the past, we've appointed a road foreman, but we now have a road commissioner. And so I would assume that the road commissioner would be the position that we would appoint, and
Right. And we,
The road
when we put this
foreman.
in, it was a 1 year, so we would need to reappoint today.
so Chuck, are you willing to continue serving as the road commissioner?
Sure, yeah. but
Okay,
I,
all right.
as long as the board's happy, yes.
okay.
Then I'll make the motion that we reappoint Chuck Batchelor for another year as the road commissioner.
And I will second that motion.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Thank you,
So,
Chuck.
so I could read through a list here, or we could do these one at a time. What's everyone's favor?
That's-
I guess we should probably go through one at a time so we know what we're talking
Okay.
about.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
better.
All right.
Sorry
So,
for interrupting, but-
Animal Control Officer, presently Kim Silk, serves in that position, and he's willing to continue.
Okay.
So a motion to appoint,
I'll move.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Dangerous Buildings Officer, presently Kim Silk has served in that position. He needs to be reappointed, and he's willing to continue in that position. Motion to approve appointment?
Let Chris do this one. I'll second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So Skip was going to present the Planning Commission's intentions to suggest that I get reappointed to the Planning Commission. My term is up this year. I felt a little funny doing it for myself, so we could wait on that, and I'll just be filling in that role until we have Skip back. I don't know.
I'm willing to appoint you.
All right,
I'll second
I'll
that
move
motion.
it.
okay. I will recuse myself from voting.
So all those in favor, say
All in
aye.
favor, say
Aye.
There we go. Now you're good.
okay. So the Zoning Board of Adjustment, both Chance Payette and Diana Peduzzi have expressed interest in that. There can be more than just 5 members on that board. I think that Diana researched that it can be 5 to 9. There is some concern about having an even number of people on the Zoning Board of Adjustment in case there was a tie. And this would be for the open position that would expire in 2024. So I'm not sure how to proceed on this. I wanted to check in with Chance. I know one of this open position was Mary Clark's, and she was the chair of the Zoning Board of Adjustment, and none of the other present members want to be the chair. So whoever we appoint would have
And
to be
I spoke
willing.
with him and he's still willing to work in that position.
Okay, would he be interested in being the chair?
He didn't object to that.
You didn't object to that? Okay. So
Okay.
Diana, how are your feelings about having, if we appointed both you and Chance and having a 6-member board, what are your feelings about that?
If he's willing to be the chairman, that's fine. Just take me off the list.
All
Okay.
right, okay. So I guess I'm looking for a motion to appoint Chance Payette as the zoning board of adjustment chair, I
moved.
guess I'll say.
So move.
Okay,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. So now, for the Conservation Commission, there are three members that are up for reappointment. We did discuss these reappointments at our Conservation Commission meeting last week. Maybe we'll do all three of these together. So Paul Council, Chad Woolers, or Chuck as he's known, and myself are all up for reappointment to the Conservation Commission, and all are willing to continue on the for, I think they're 3-year terms, basically. So do I hear a motion to appoint Paul Council, Chuck Woolers, and Michael Gray to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term?
So moved.
Chris moved,
I'll second.
second, and I again will recuse myself from voting. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So now the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission rep. I presently serve as the Woodbury rep to the Conservation Commission, or not the planning, the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission, and I'm willing to continue in that position. So I would entertain a motion to appoint Michael Gray as the rep to the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission. Chris has got his hand up to move it. Second from
Second, yep.
Paul. And again, I'll recuse myself. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So the Transportation Advisory Committee, the town has not had a rep for that for quite a few years. And that's part of the Regional Planning Commission. And they basically work with VTrans and the State Highway Department, reviewing sections of road that are different projects that are up. And they serve as an advisory committee and pretty much review what VTrans has in mind or different projects and suggest which ones that they're in favor of. So, but that's a vacancy that we have at the moment, and I'm not aware of anyone who would like to serve on that. I think they meet once a month, I believe.
Chris Codius will stand up for that.
Okay. All
So
right.
moved then,
All right. I'll second that.
or he changes his mind.
All right. Okay. All those in favor of appointing Chris Coteas to the Transportation Advisory Committee, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it's also known as the TAC Committee. Great. Thank you, Chris. And I will let the Regional
thank you.
Planning Commission know that there's a member to that, and somebody will probably get in contact with you.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, they will. They're pretty good about that. So.
Oh, all right, good. Thank you.
Central Vermont Solid Waste Management District Rep, Jane Noel Laurendow has served in that position. I haven't heard back from her. I did send her an email. So I guess we'll wait to hear back from her whether or not she wants to continue serving. And then another municipality, Central Vermont Fiber, for high-speed internet access to rural areas. That's another entity that we've had a rep for in the past. Presently, we don't have anyone, and I'm not aware of anyone that wants to serve on that board at the moment. So that's one that we'll advertise for. So the first constable position, I would like to be able to discuss this in executive session. So I would like to hold off on that appointment.
Okay.
So we'll wait on that one. And then I've been the energy coordinator. I'm not really quite sure what all that entails. I'm willing to continue serving on that. I might advertise for it and see if anybody else would like to fill in that position. I do have some knowledge of different energy issues, but I really have never done much in that capacity. So why don't we hold off on that? It's not a burning position that absolutely needs to be filled at this moment, and we'll see if anybody else steps
Is
up
interested, yeah.
for that. So the assistant town clerk and the assistant town treasurer, that's pretty much under the purview of our town treasurer and our town clerk. So if they have folks that they would like the select board to appoint, they could do that now, or we could do that at some point in the future, but that's really not up to the select board
You don't have to do that.
Okay, we don't have to do that.
Appoints, the treasurer appoint their own assistants.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay, so you don't
Right,
have.
we just have to agree to pay them.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Diana. So, emergency management director, right now, Chance Payette serves in that role, and he's willing to continue. So do I hear a motion to appoint Chance Payette to the emergency management director position?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of Chance Payette serving as the emergency management director, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The E91 coordinator, Skip Lindsay, has been serving in that position, and he's willing to continue. So do I hear a motion to the effect of reappointing Skip Lindsay as the E911 coordinator?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So the tree warden, Ron Wells, has been serving in that position, but there was another person named Jim Sveithelm who was interested in serving in that position, and Ron was okay with letting that one go. And just so, if you don't know who Jim is, he does have a background in forestry. He's presently a very active member of the Planning Commission, and could easily and knowledgeably serve in that role, and he would like to do that. So do I hear a motion to the effect of appointing Jim Sveithelm as the town's tree warden?
So moved. Your second, or either one.
Second, all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So now the town's pound keeper, Kim Silk, has served in that position, and he is willing to continue in that position. So do I hear a motion to appoint Kim Silk as the town's pound keeper?
Moved.
Okay.
Second.
Second. So all those in favor of appointing Kim Silk as the town's pound keeper say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And last but not least, the Woodbury Fund Committee. So I checked in with Peter Peltz about this, and we can reappoint the 4 people that are willing to continue serving on that committee, or we could do them one at a time. What's the select board's pleasure on that?
I had a couple of questions about that.
Sure.
Is that a town entity? Because I've never seen a budget or minutes or anything with that organization.
It's I don't know if it's well, we're actually appointing an official, so yes, it is a town.
Well, that's my question is it's a mystery to me.
Yeah. Diana, I really don't.
As I recall the history of this, it was to remain a private group, a private endowment, and they say yes or no, but the group, the family wanted the town to be somehow involved. So what the town does is appoints.
Gotcha. Okay.
Appoints a committee, but they still handle all the money, except.
Okay, so it's because that's what I never saw any warnings or town. I just didn't know what it was.
That's how it came about. It's been quite a few years now.
And when Diana mentions the family, this was originally set up I
With the
think
Myers,
after
yeah.
passing of Hugo Meyer. Yeah. It's sort of like the Women's Fire Auxiliary in a way, where they.
So we don't hold the funds. We don't have to manage the funds. We just put people on. Okay, got it. Understood.
So the four people that would like to continue serving on that committee are Peter Peltz, Grady Neal, Robin Durkee, and Norman Etkin. So do I hear, and John Meyer, who was on the committee, is not going to continue. And I don't think there's a specific number that has to be on the committee. It's not like there's an empty space there now.
Or would it be interesting to put someone on just to get some more participation from townspeople?
Yeah, well, I guess we could ask that of the committee if they would like another.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just an interest because we've gotten a few new names. It's just, we tend to recycle the same people in all these positions. It's
Right.
more healthy, I think, moving forward that we get some new folks into some of this stuff. Because again, I don't even understand all of these things.
Right, yeah, yeah. Well, I know a little bit about the Woodbury Fund Committee. It was basically set up to, help augment different projects in town outside of the town, any of the town operating budgets. So, like town highway stuff, although, we are doing the parking area, which is kind of a town highway thing, although it's, for the forest trail and the Woodbury Conservation Commission.
They also did the playground up at Woodbury Elementary School.
Yeah.
So different things, like they fund some of the speakers that come to town for different presentations, things like that. They help fund the repair of the Nichols Pond Dam back in the day, several years ago. So different
Money
things
into
like.
the ice rink before too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've given money to the ice rink. So, and other projects through the Friends of the Woodbury Elementary School have also received other monies from the Woodbury Fund. They help fund a design plan for the dock that hasn't been made yet.
Yeah. Well, one of my
Different-
concerns has always been is Peter told me that we've never applied as the fire department. He's told us we're not an eligible organization, which
Yeah.
seems odd to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We've been part of grant applications and we're told we had to pay our own money, is what Peter told me. When the furnace was put into the food shelf, we had to pay for our half.
Mhm.
When the village study was done. So that seems concerning to me and should concern the rest of the board. We're an entity that serves this community.
Yeah.
Obviously we can't offset our budget, but if we wanted to buy, say a auto pulse for doing CPR, something like that, that's something that's outside of our budget.
Mhm.
I've been told those things. So those are just some concerns that I have. I know Robin's on it, so I just share that with you guys while we're here.
Okay, yeah,
But that's
Yeah,
what Peter told me.
yeah, you've expressed that to me before too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a little disturbing to me.
Yeah, I don't know what the reasoning is, and
Yeah, I'm just making everybody aware of it.
yeah, okay,
Thank you.
all right. So, I think, did we vote to appoint these folks? I don't think
We haven't,
we have. Okay, all right. Ugh.
but I would be interested if they would want a fifth member since
Okay.
John Myers stepped out. Just put
Okay.
somebody that would be
All right.
willing.
Would you like me to ask that question of
Yeah.
the
So
committee?
I'll move the committee with the question.
Okay, all right. So the motion would be to appoint Peter Peltz, Grady Neal, Robin Durkee, and Norman Etkin, and to ask a question if there is the desire of the committee to have a town resident serve on that committee, and the committee is the Woodbury Fund.
So moved.
Second? Okay.
It has to be you, Michael.
Oh, okay. So Paul's recusing himself. Okay. So I'll second it. All those in favor, say
I
aye.
didn't recuse, I'm eyeing.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, we're done. That list.
A little lag in the connection. Oh, here goes
Sounds
the
like
dog.
they-
I better shut up.
Is that a disapproval or a,
The dog wasn't
Okay.
happy about it, apparently.
right? So we're done that, and I still don't see Skip. So
Well,
basically,
can we do his business? I think so.
did we, while I was in the netherworld there?
No, but should we move ahead, go ahead and take care of what he needs to take care of?
Yeah, I'll do my best. So basically, the two things that the planning commission needs select board approval on is we did get there was an amendment to the CVRPC contract. They are the entity that we are contracting with to help us create the town plan. There was an amendment to that contract. I think it had to do with the grant award that we got. So there was a little extra money to pay for some other services to from the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission. So that's the amendment part. And then the Planning Commission also received additional grant money from the Agency for Commerce and Community Development. I think it was $7,000 something, again, to augment mostly the public outreach components, which are important in the town planning process. So those are the two contracts that Skip wanted us to approve. I know that he probably would be able to share much more detail about those, but
So this is Skip put these forward. He didn't share any concerns in the contract with you, did he?
no, and he has negotiated both of these with the entities that they're with, mostly with the Regional Planning Commission, and we did discuss these and approve them as a planning commission last week.
Okay,
So-
I'll make the motion that we approve Michael signing these contracts.
Okay,
And I'll second that for sure.
all right. And I guess I'm going to recuse myself because I am on the planning commission. So all those in favor of approving the amendment to the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission contract and the municipal planning grant award contract, say aye.
Aye,
Aye. Oops, I recused myself. I didn't do that.
it's okay.
Okay. All right, good. So that's done. And he was going to give you a town plan update. I can give you a brief one. Things are going along really well. We have another new planning commission member. And there's a lot of background knowledge and expertise with the new members. Skip is kind of serving as he's the chair, but also he's taking care of all the kind of bureaucratic stuff. And both Jim and Michael Sadler have some a good knowledge of how to tackle some of the components of the plan. And it's sort of working out where the Regional Planning Commission will come up with a kind of a template for the different components of it. And then we kind of make it Woodbury centric, we're calling it, where we kind of really focus on making the plan less generic and more applicable to the reality of the town of Woodbury. And then basically the two entities will kind of incorporate it into a final document. And we haven't finalized anything yet, but we are working on different parts of the town plan that there are basically 12 components that need to be addressed by state regulation, and we're working on 3 of them right at the moment. So it's moving ahead well. We have a plan of having the town plan officially approved by the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission by the end of this year. So we're kind of working on a time schedule that way, meeting a little bit more than the once a month timeline that the Planning Commission usually meets at.
That's good news. How long has it been?
It's been outdated since 2008, I think. The last plan that was approved was in 2003, and that was a 5-year span. It should have been renewed in 2008, and it hasn't been since. So we've been out 13 years now without a town plan. So, and again, the town plan really opens up the town again for getting different grants. And plus it just makes us look a little bit better in everybody else's eyes. But there are, and it will, this plan will really be a guidance for how, the town's going to move forward in a practical way. We want to make it practical, and there'll be many more opportunities for town residents to review the drafts of the plan. We had a pretty good response for the survey, and I think there will be a review coming up fairly soon, but I don't have that timeline in my memory right at the moment. Oh, actually, here comes, hang on, Skip is wanting to be admitted.
He got his internet stoked up.
I don't know, but so there he is. He's connecting. So hey, Skip. So we can you hear us? Okay. So we just we kind of put it off, waiting for you. But we did approve both of the amendment and the contract.
Well, thank you.
Those have been approved, and I was kind of giving my own somewhat scant update on the town plan. Just mentioning that everything is going ahead good, and we've got a good crew. Kind of explaining how we're working with the Regional Planning Commission, taking the information that they give us and really kind of coming back with something that's realistic for the town of Woodbury.
Yeah, that's correct, Michael.
Yep.
Even though there are some statutory requirements that the state imposes on folks who write a town plan, we want to make sure that our town plan is Woodbury centric. So the goals that the state require us to do that aren't applicable to Woodbury, we'll just say, yeah, those are meaningful goals, but these are the ones for Woodbury that we find most important. So in order to get our town plan approved, we do have to include the state mandated goals, but we'll raise Woodbury specific goals to the top of the list for sure.
Mhm.
And as Michael said, we do have what I call an activist planning commission now.
We do, yeah, it's great.
We do. So we're keeping the Regional Planning Commission in line, making sure that the documents they send to us give us time to review them and to, again, make sure that they're Woodbury centric. Because, not to disparage the Regional Planning Commission, but they like to cut and paste from other plans.
Yeah, because that was what I seen in the here's our 400-page thing, you should just adopt it. And that was what was concerning to me. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Oh yeah, we're scrutinizing
Yeah.
every word, every punctuation. And, we have some great people.
Mhm.
Planning
Because
commission.
their approach always raised red flags with me because you don't know what you're adopting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know what we're adopting.
You guys are good job.
Sure. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for approving those. And Michael, Brandy has those on her desk, those two contracts,
All right.
and they're ready for you to sign.
Okay. All right.
If you sign those, she'll turn them around and send them to, I think it goes to Bonnie Waringer.
Bonnie Waniger? Yeah, probably.
Waniger, yeah, Waniger.
I'll send Brandy an email and I'll sign up. Maybe I'll ask her to leave them out in the former select board meeting room. Well, I guess it's called the listers room now. And I'll sign them on my way home from work tomorrow.
Do the listers use that room?
Yeah, yeah, they still do, I think. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Skip.
Thanks, Skip.
so I just have a quick update on the school lease. The Woodbury Lease Committee and the school board, Union School Board Lease Committee met last week, and we came to an agreement on a draft lease. The select board will be reviewing and discussing that in executive session tonight. And the library, the supervisory Union School District Board, they won't be meeting until April 13th, and they'll review and the lease then. So there'll be a little bit of a time lapse before both boards are able to communicate their approval of the lease. You know, we could approve it and they might make some changes, so it would have to come back to us. But I'd like us to, when we review it in executive session, if we're okay with it, the draft as it is, to approve the draft and see what happens on their end. So that's where we are with the school lease. And I can't really think of any other updates. Let's see. I've been going in a number of different directions on different town stuff, so I'm a little scrambled right at the moment. But I think that's pretty much it for the moment. I still have on my list to get the RFP for the school roof. Now that the snow is off it looks horrible. So, yeah, God.
We wouldn't want it to look good and we're replacing it, so.
No. So that's something that's kind of at the top of the list here. I got to get that done. And Larry Eldred is going to help me with that. So, so any other business that anybody wants to bring up, or that?
I don't have any.
I do not.
Anything at all? No? Okay.
I do. I have
Okay.
just one.
Okay, good.
Did I miss, I know there was an agenda item, Woodbury elected and appointed officials.
Yeah, you
Did I
missed
miss
all
that?
of that.
We
Yeah,
reappointed you, too bad.
Yeah, he appointed you to everything that was vacant,
Everything that was open, because you weren't there to say no, so
Yeah.
I know.
whatever.
But-
including all 3 auditors' positions.
How do you think I became fire chief?
I was just wondering if Michael Gray was reappointed to his position.
I mentioned that you were going to suggest that the planning commission reappoint me, but you weren't there to do that, so.
So we did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so,
Thank you. And no, I don't want to be an auditor ever again.
You're all 3 auditors. What do you mean?
but you should have been here, Skip. I'm sorry. It's too
Well,
late.
maybe some slight misspellings in some of the names, but
We're kidding you, of course.
I know. All right, then I'll sign off.
Thank you, Skip.
All right.
Going
Thanks,
into
Skip.
executive session. Well,
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thanks for signing the contract,
sure.
and see you all around.
I'm good.
Thanks, Scott.
So, let's see, where is that language? Okay, so, I apologize to everyone we're gonna have, it'll be hopefully not a lengthy executive session, but there are 4 topics, 4 issues that we need to discuss in executive session. So I'm gonna read the list with the citings. The last 2 items on the agenda we need to approve a preliminary, I can't even think of what to call it, but basically I'm going to read the language. We need to determine whether or not premature general public knowledge would clearly place the public body or a person involved at a substantial disadvantage before we go into executive session. So this would be for negotiating lease options, citing 1 VSA section A2, or probable civil litigation, citing 1 VSA section A1.
I believe we would.
Okay. Chris, how do you feel about that?
I tend to agree with Paul. that-
Okay, and I agree also. So do I hear a motion that we do feel that premature general public knowledge would clearly place the public body or person involved at a substantial disadvantage?
Yes,
And I'll second.
oh, definitely.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So now I need a motion for us to go into executive session to discuss the compensation of a public officer, inviting Diana Peduzzi and Robin Durkee, and the hiring of a town employee, inviting Chuck Batchelder, and the appointment of a public officer, citing 1 VSA Section A3. And
So
then
moved.
okay,
Second.
all those in favor, say aye.
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 So then I'd like to, another motion I'd like, for going into executive session to negotiate lease options, citing 1 VSA Section A2, and also to discuss probable civil litigation, citing 1 VSA Section A1. There a motion to that effect? Motion from Chris.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So.